Everyone, good morning, Monday morning. Good morning once again. I don't know if something is going on this morning um, with the internet. I guess it is. I don't know. I have been hearing a lot of people saying that. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's something that we have control over. So we just gonna keep doing the best we can with what we have, and God will do the rest. But on this morning, I pray that you all had a good weekend. But I wanted to stop in and just kind of, once again, share some words of encouragement with you. And to once again, thank you. I'm always periodically going to say that because I am very thankful to all of you who tune in. And then those of you who don't get up in the morning to come on, but, some point in the day, you may go out there and look at the video. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about you. I'm excited about not only what God is doing in my life, but also what He's doing in other people's lives. Seeing people grow, seeing people get their talents out there and doing things that they've been wanting to do. And I'm going to say to you this morning, you keep doing that thing, whatever it is. Keep growing. Be proud of your gift. Keep walking in that gift. And you know what? It's going to get you to the other side of greatness. I'm telling you, when you stay with what you have been commissioned to do, you're going to be all right. And nobody has the same talents. Some of us do, but some of us got other different talents. But there's no reason to be jealous of somebody else or to put somebody else down in their works, in what they're doing. Be happy for people. Continue to pray for them and want the best for them. Because look here, just because you're not doing it, don't make it wrong. Let me say that again, because a lot of times this happens because somebody else is doing something that you don't totally agree with. It's wrong to walk around and criticize that person's project or what that person is doing. Because if they have enough faith and belief in what they are doing, stop being so negative and putting bad things out there about people and saying things that you know that they aren't true. It's just your personal feelings about something somebody else is doing, and you need a crowd of people to help you to destroy that person. I'm asking y'all this morning, don't do that. Stop doing that. And I often tell y'all, I talk about things, current events, right? Current things that I'm hearing the streets talking about. The streets is the people around you. The conversations that you see going on Facebook. I listen to different motivational speakers. I listen to comedians. It's different levels of communication that I infiltrate myself into. And I also listen to the Word of God. I listen to all of that because you know what? It all means something. People, the overall thing is people are trying to get a message out there to speak to you, to speak to me, just the same way that I do, the same way that other people who are doing this same thing that I'm doing, to get a message out there in hopes, in prayer, that it will help somebody. That it will help somebody. But people's deliverance of a message is different. So what I'm saying is, when I was listening to one of the young ladies she's a comedian, but she talks real life. And that's what comedians do. And if you listen to them, they'll tell you, you laugh through your pain. That's what comedians do. They're telling you about real life, but teaching you can laugh through your pain. But see, some people, we so quick to judge and so quick to criticize one another, even when we're not comedians, just putting words of encouragement out there. People are so quick to try to attack you because you're not doing it how they think you ought to do it. But everybody do things in the way that they do them to get their message out there, even through singing. Any kind of business that you have, any kind of talent, and those are not the only talents. People do it through books. People do it just being the head of a family, trying to keep verbiage out there that can help people in their family unit. At some point, we all are having to communicate a message and deliver it in different ways. So why sit back and criticize somebody because they're not doing it the way that you think they ought to be doing it? And I wouldn't be talking about it if I hadn't been hearing it, because that's what the street's saying. The comedian I was talking about that I listened to, and she also do skits, but she was saying something that really stuck to me. People are so negative. People are so negative. It don't matter what you do, they gonna find something to say negative about it. And everybody is needed. But here's the thing of it is, you don't know what people been through in their life. You don't know. She was sharing how she grew up around so much negativity that once she got up and out of the house at a young age, she said she started out young doing things that her family didn't agree with. But where were they at when she needed help inside that home? You don't never know what people going through when you've been raised with a mother who all your life told you you wasn't going to be nothing. And then you turn around and look at your blessings. You've been told that all your life that you wasn't going to be nothing by somebody that was supposed to be in your life to encourage you. Listen to me, people. That's dangerous. And people are not in tune as they grow older to take that negative vibe with them that you are trying to interject, like you giving them some kind of vaccine shot in their arms and say, you take this, you live with this, and don't you do nothing different. People are moving away from negativity because people are tired of it. You don't know what people been through. You do not know what people been through. So guess what? Keep your mouth off of people. Stop taking and tearing people down because you feel like that's your right to do. It's not. And so what? If you don't like what somebody do, don't infiltrate yourself into their circle, into their arena. And yes, this young lady, she said she started out through Facebook, building up her viewers, building up her business because she do other things. None of us can just only do one thing. My daughter does several things. With her, she offers several services through her business. Foot detox, body waxing. She do juicing. She's got a certification in real estate. She do a lot of different things, and it's not just her. I got nieces who are doing various types of work that, I can't do it, but I'm just overjoyed that they do it. That they're starting up their own business, have started it up and moving through the process. I've got nephews who have their own thing going on. Lawn service, power washing of homes. I mean, it's just different things that they're doing, and a lot of them are doing things that I might not even know about. Young entrepreneurs, they're doing things, but I don't have a right because I'm older than them to sit up and criticize them. My spiritual daughter, she has her own business with the eyebrows. I'm telling y'all, people got a lot of talents out here. People that I grew up with, writing books. just doing all kind of things. Who are we to sit there? I'm going to ask this question that another one of the motivational speakers that I listen to asked. Who are we to sit down and take it upon ourselves like we are so great to every day our number one priority is to tear somebody else down? Who are we? That's a question we all can ask ourselves. I have dealt with all of my life my skin because of acne. And you know what? That came from coming through a young age of having to go to the schoolhouse and have people target me all through school. And you know, kids can say some horrible things. And I'm talking about all the way through high school. And I have a friend who takes out the time, consult me on my skincare. And never once judged me on it. But said, Electra, look, I got some things that we can try this and we can try that. And it's about skin care. I don't want to hide my skin. I don't want to hide it through makeup. If I put on makeup, I put it on lightly. But I try to identify with myself through her consulting me and taking care of my skin and removing some of the things from my skin that I, not somebody else, I have concerns about. And I know that when people do that to you throughout your younger years, it's hard. And you can say what you want to, but that little person inside of you is always in there screaming, help me. I don't care what you went through in life. That little Electra, I'll use myself, is always on the inside of me, reminding me what I've been through in my younger years. But not to keep me there, to remind me not to go back there, not to accept that, not to allow people to keep that over my head for the rest of my life. But I can raise up and do something about it. And that's what my friend, who's a consultant, she does that and has done that many years for me through our friendship. Not just that, you know, she's just been a very supportive person in my life. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't have to tell you because you already know. Whenever somebody targets you at a young age about one thing about you that they don't like, see, this is what people do as you get older. They take that one thing and they go get a crowd of people who might have not even been paying attention to that thing about you. And so now you've got more than one, and their circle begins to grow to try to tear you down. I don't care if it's your skin with acne. I don't care if it's your weight. I don't care if it's you not being able to afford the kind of clothes that other people could afford or live the way that other people could live. It does not give any of us a right. And see, I look at these young children who people are sitting back and not addressing this issue with young kids. We tell them, oh, baby, don't worry about it. See, just like that thing, that's what happened to me. The teachers, they didn't bother with it because they thought that's just what kids do. I am an adult woman. I am an adult woman. And I tell you, sometimes those memories come back up of what people said. And not only what people said to me, how people acted towards me. Because first of all, I was sickly. Then I was very, very small. Then I had acne problems. And we weren't rich people. We just everyday people. But I didn't wear name brand clothes. What was name brand at that time? What I'm saying to you this morning, we have got to stop all this criticizing people. And people have said that to me, have shared that with me. I talk about what the streets talking about. And the streets is talking about how they're being treated. People are talking about how they're being treated because they decided to do something in a different way that other people don't agree with. So other people are trying to tear them down. And let me tell you something, that is hurtful, because just like you want people to support you in your gift, to support you in your business, to support what you are doing, why don't you give that same energy back? And if you decide that you want to be negative, that's your business, but do it on your turf, not on somebody else's. And I often say this, and you all have heard me say this time and time again. You got to talk about what the streets are talking about, because that's what people need to hear. All this on the surface stuff, people don't care about that. People got some real life issues going on. Some real life issues going on. That's why you have to be, listen to me closely, you have to be transparent. People can't feel like they're around perfect people. They're going to be afraid to open up. When you are transparent, you help other people to become transparent. You help other people to feel good about bringing out their story. You help other people feel good about living their life. You help other people reach that next plateau in life. You are helping people when you are transparent. But when you are sitting there and you pretending to be this perfect person, people run away from you because they can't see your realness. And let me tell you something. I talk to a lot of people, and people tell me, that's why I'm sharing it with you this morning. A lot of reasons I don't get involved with things is because I feel like, this is some of the feedback I get, I feel like I just don't match up to who they are. I feel like I can't never, be where they are. I just feel like I don't fit in. And you know what? Not only are adults saying that, young people are saying that too. You know why? Because we walk around here like we so perfect. Some people need you to be transparent so that they can be, even your children, they need to know you weren't always perfect either. You had some shortcomings too. Don't you know that's how people grow? That is how people grow. When you can, I had a therapist, and many of you that have listened to me and some of you that know me know that I've been in therapy in points of my life. And I'm not embarrassed about it. I am not embarrassed about it. I am grateful that there is such a service. And you know what? It helped me. It helped me to come out of that shell and learn how to be Electra and not what everybody else want me to be. You gonna kill yourself. This is what my therapist told me. You gonna kill yourself trying to live a life before people that's not even you. That's like people on television. They can't stay married because they live that television life all the time. That scripted life all the time. Well, newsflash, real life, it's not a script. Real life, you got to live that thing as you see it, how it presents itself in front of you. But to have a therapist tell me that, it opened up my eyes. It helped me to grow in life. And there's nothing wrong with therapy. People, first time you say therapy, people think you crazy. Think something wrong with you. Why you over there telling them people your business? Come on, I've been there. I've heard that before. But guess what? I was in college when I started trying to earn my first degree. When I just broke down. That's how one of my professors was the one that said, it's nothing wrong. Because, being reared in the home, what happens in a home that they say, what happens in this house stays in this house, all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying anything was bad going on in my home being reared up. What I'm saying is that the stuff I was dealing with through school, and it was impacting how I interacted sometimes with other people, and just pray everything gonna be all right, God gonna take care of you, was not just enough. It really wasn't. I needed for somebody to hear that little Electra on the inside of me. Because I'm going to tell you what you start doing. You start doing those things that pleases everybody else because you're trying to make people accept you. Because that's all you know as a child. And that carries over into your adulthood. And what you have to get through, and I got through in therapy, was to find out the fact that you are just as important as those people that are critical, have been critical towards you over the years. But you carried what they done to you into your adulthood. And that cycle has to be broken. We got to break some cycles of what people have done to us. And how you do that, you got to get away from negative people. You got to get away from people who are not in agreement with what you're doing just because you're not doing it their way. Because guess what? They're going to stay in your life as long as they're getting their way. As long as you're doing it to their pleasing. Oh, they'll stay in your life forever. They're not going nowhere. You know why? Because they're in control. You're not in control. They're in control of your life. And you don't even know it. But let me tell you, when you get that reality check, it's going to be a whole lot of people going to be getting up out of your life. Because you're going to do things. And you're going to work through your gifts and your talents that you have. And you don't care what nobody says. I'm speaking out this morning because I have been hearing that time and time again. But it's starting to escalate. How people are just being so negative towards people that have ideas and dreams that they want to live out. That negativity, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. If you can't support somebody, go on about your business. Go on do your own thing. Get you a crowd to do your own negative thing. It's plenty of them out there. It's plenty of negative people out there. And you know what? Something that came to my mind as I was listening to different videos during the process of this weekend. And when the young lady was talking about negativity, and I began to think about it, so I wrote it out and I posted it on Facebook. And to this day, I still believe that these things. Number one, listen to me now. Just because somebody's not liking you on Facebook, that don't mean they not watching you. It don't mean somebody not watching you because they didn't give you a like on Facebook. That don't mean they not watching you. That don't mean they don't see you. And there are those who, life is so busy, maybe they didn't get a chance to tune in when you were there. But they looked at it later on. And then there's some people that just, you got it out there. People just scrolling and they see it. And it's okay. Just because somebody might like it and they might not like it. But that don't mean they not watching you. Just because, please people, remember this. If you don't remember nothing else from this morning, just because somebody is not liking you on Facebook don't mean they not watching you. People, everybody out here in this world is watching you. You live in it. But guess what? They ain't none of your business. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep exercising your gift. Keep believing in yourself. Keep knowing who you are. My beautician has been my beautician since my daughter was in like the 5th grade. I want to say Moretta was in the 4th or 5th grade. And you know what? Her thing is healthy hair. Healthy hair. And so, because I have a pre-existing condition, it's very important that I have healthy hair. I can't just do anything I want to do with my hair. And you know what? She does a wonderful job and has been in business over 30 years. But see, here's the thing. New ideas came in with hair, so people migrated away. But that's okay. But that don't mean that you got a right to put that person down that still believes in their own concept. And her and her sister both been over there on Lake Road for over 30 years doing hair. And the ultimate thing is to have healthy hair and tell you the importance of having healthy hair. And nothing wrong with that. But other people do different things with hair. And so ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't criticize people in what they do and how they do it and say, well, people just don't do it like that no more. Okay, you good with that. But that's what I like. That's what other people like. People have different services that they offer. I could think of tons of services just like you can. And you know what? When people deliver it, everybody delivers it differently. My question is, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you when you always got to look at the negative in somebody else? No matter what it is, no matter who it is, you're never going to find the best. You always going to look. Here you come with this bag of destruction tools. And I'm going to tell you something. God going to deal with you with that. Whoever you are. That bag of destruction tools not only going to hurt you, hurt other people that you put forth your feet to go and try to destroy. But guess what? It's going to hurt you. Because you might need those people. None of us, as long as you live, let me tell you something. As long as you live, you're going to need somebody. Don't ever think you can do life on your own. And some of these people that you criticizing, and some of these people right there in your family, come on, some people right there in your family trying to tear you down. Like the young comedian said, it was her own mama. It was her own mama. But both her and her sister are all right now. But it was her own mama telling her every day throughout her life she wasn't going to be nothing. But she had the support of her grandmother who would say the opposite. And that drove her. As she said she took the wrong road for a minute. She got into a lot of promiscuous stuff. But she got back on track. And look at her now. And look at her now. See, you can admire a person that's transparent, that will tell you the truth about their life and not act like, oh, everything has always been peachy keen. Everybody that I know have had some kind of struggle. Only thing with those who have moved forward, we decided that we wasn't going to normalize struggle. Don't you ever normalize struggle. Don't do it. Because you're going to find yourself at the bottom. And you're going to find yourself doing everything that everybody else wants you to do. And you will be the most miserable person in the world. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And you know why I can say that? Because when I was doing that, I had to come to a consensus, y'all. I had to come to a consensus in my mind and say, you know what? I'm not going to live another day letting somebody else control my life. I had to do that. I had to do that. I'm not going to live another day. You got to do that. Say it to yourself. Well, I'm going to let other people control my life. Making decisions, not because it makes you feel good, but because it makes other people feel good. But what about you? Hear me this morning. This is no joke. I'm hearing it too often. I'm hearing it too often. And I'm going to tell you something. It's not a local power problem. It's not a state problem. It's a national problem. When people are conducting themselves in a manner that they just want to be people pleasers, but yet they have not reached on the inside of themselves and pleased who they are. You bigger than that. You're greater than that. Than anybody else. Your critics want you to believe. See, I love believing in people because I love seeing people grow. Even if I don't get there, if I don't accomplish everything I want to in my life, I want to see young women and young men do that. Do some of those things. I get excited about women, young women and young men that's coming up the rough side behind me. And they're doing stuff. They're thinking outside the box. I like that. I like that. I often tell y'all, number 2, it's none of your business how somebody else feel about you. Why are you making it priority in your life to function in life based on how somebody else feel about you? They gonna feel about you how they want to feel about you anyway. There's nothing you can do about that. And you know what? Pick your bags up and keep moving. And let them pick their bag up, that bag of destruction with all them tools of destruction in it. Let them pick that up and keep moving. Nothing you can do with that. Because they carry them tools of destruction everywhere they go. Everywhere they go, they carry them. No matter what group they infiltrate themselves in, when they get there, they're going to try to destroy whatever is going on. Y'all better hear me, because I think that sometimes we take this stuff too light. We really take this stuff too light. Oh, she just playing. Oh, he just playing. No, they not. They mean everything they doing and saying. When people do things towards you, everything they doing and saying, they meaning to do it. You know how you can know that they're real about it? Because they're repetitive in it. They never stop. Most of y'all know I come from a large family. And I'm number 13. I mean, like 3 brothers, 10 sisters. I'm the baby. And it was times that when things was happening to me in my life, I wouldn't tell my siblings because they were so protective of me. So I would keep things to myself. I would internalize. And you know what? When you do that, you hurt yourself. But listen here. You also know it's some things I can't put out there because I'm going to get my sisters and my brothers in trouble if I let them know what these people doing to me. So I got to be careful with that. See, some things, what am I getting to? I mentioned How somebody else feel about you ain't none of your business. See, what people was doing to me, I had to realize I couldn't put my siblings in that. In other words, I couldn't put them in that part of my business, in my life, because I'm going to get them in trouble, because they're going to get riled up, because they don't want nobody messing with baby sister. And they were tough. And I was always nurtured by my siblings. I was always nurtured by them. I was always secured by them. But I also know that I can't take this thing too far, because I'm going to end up getting them in trouble. So I'm going to just contain what these people are doing and saying to me. But now I realize what that was all about. It was none of my business how those people felt about me as an adult woman. Because no matter if you try to fit in or not, look here, people are going to feel about you how they going to feel about you. Sometimes it's just time for you to leave that circle. Number 3, don't be afraid to speak out into the universe what God has placed on your heart, because somebody else needs what you got to say. Let me say that again. Don't be afraid to speak out, to say those things. It don't have to be a large platform. It can be in a family unit. It can be just something that needs to be said. Because you can be saying stuff that other people want to say, they just don't know how to say it. Because a lot of times you are saying what other people want to say. They just afraid to say it. So when God put things on your heart to speak out, speak out. And speak up for somebody else. Because you know what? You somebody too. You somebody too. And what you have to say is important. And will you have some critics? Yes, you will. That's life. But you know what? The only way you're going to get on the other side of your greatness, because it's in you. The only way you're going to get on the other side of your greatness. I want y'all to hear this morning. You have to start tuning some people out, and you're going to have to start writing some people out the script of your life. Because I'm going to tell you something. You know it. You just haven't confessed it. But you know that there's some people in your life you need to write out the script. You know that there's some people in your life, the only reason why they are in your life because you doing what they want you to do. You know that there's some people in your life that will step on you and step over you to get what they want. If they got to, even if they have to crush you to get it. You know it's some people out there. You know it's some people in your circle that's just like that. Because guess what? Just because people laughing with you, listen to me closely. Just because people laughing with you, that don't mean they walking with you. What I mean by that don't mean they believe in you. On December 9th, it will be 5 years in which I lost my late husband, Pastor Michael James. I lost him on December 9th. But you know something? He taught me so much. That helps eases my pain. It don't mean that it don't hurt. It don't mean that I'm not saddened by it sometimes. It doesn't mean that I didn't question God, because I did. I'm guilty of it. And sometimes it seemed like yesterday that I lost him. But you know what keeps me going? Those things that he taught me. Something he said to me, and I'm going to share it with you guys this morning. And he said, you know, when he got to the point where he gained dementia, So he would come in. When I say come in, he would detach from life as it was right then. But every time he would come back to real time, he would always say, "Hey, sweetie." I said, "Hey, how you doing?" But the doctors helped me to understand that. I just want to share this story with a lot of y'all this morning, because even though we've lost people in our life, they left a lot with us. And that is where we can find joy. I don't care who it is. People that we love, that we lost, they left something with us. That's why we can keep living. We never forget them because they're always in our hearts. So I often think about that when my late husband would say, "Hey, sweetie," I knew he was back with me. Okay? I had to learn how to work within those realms. To know when he was in another space, which he would always go back to the military in his mind, because he loved the military. And most of you who have had spouses or family members who had been in the military, they will tell you when they do get sick, they go back to that place. The majority of them. It's something about men who have been in the military. They go back to that space. So he would go back to the military, right? But when he would come out of that state of mind in dementia, he would be back with me and he would say, "Hey, sweetie." And it's just the way that he would say it. And so one day, 5 years ago, during Thanksgiving, I had cooked dinner and we was here in the house. And of course, he couldn't eat that heavy food anymore. He decided he was getting to the point he didn't want to eat, right? So I fixed him some oatmeal because it was soft and it could go down easier. And I'm sitting in the chair. Keep in mind now, I'm coming up on December 9th, 5 years ago when I lost him. And he looked at me. And I'm sharing this with you this morning because I feel like you all need this. Somebody needs this. And so when he came back to where I was in time, he said, "You know I love you, right? I just need you to know I love you, right?" And I said, "I know that. And I need you to know that everything that I've ever taught you is you gonna need that. I need you to know that. I need you to tell me that. You know that." Because I'm trying to leave something with you. But most of all, I don't never want you to ever believe in things that people tell you that you're not. Because you are so much bigger than what people have told you over the years. I need you to promise me that you're not going to let nobody do that to you ever again in life. And I promised him I would never let nobody define me ever again in life. I made him that promise. That was 5 years ago, Thanksgiving Day. And God brought that to me last night to share. you never let nobody, and I don't know who needs this, but I'm telling you, he told me that 5 years ago, come December 9th. He told me that on Thanksgiving, and he passed December 9th. And I've held a lot of things in my heart that he told me and he taught me. And because of that, I could keep going. Because of that, I knew that God was getting ready to take him back, because he only loaned him to me. And because of that, I'm the woman I am today. Don't you never let nobody define you. Don't you never let nobody tell you what you are and what you're not. There's a lot in you. And this has been the best ride of my life. Can you imagine somebody telling you that? This has been the best ride of my life. And I'm glad I took this ride with you. Can you imagine somebody telling you that? And there's some people in your life, they glad that they taken this ride in life with you. That's why I always tell y'all, I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart for your support. I really do. You don't have to support me. You don't have to listen to me. But I'm going to do my best to be transparent in what I do. Because I'm not made of steel. And I cry sometimes, and I laugh sometimes, and I'll do anything in the world to help anybody that I can. And there are people who do the same thing for me. But I'm not going to make y'all feel like or think, she's so strong, she don't cry. She's so strong, she don't. I'm just like you. I cry sometimes. I think sometimes. I regret sometimes. You know, all those emotions we all go through. But I love all the time. And there's nothing in the world that I don't believe that you can do as long as you believe you can do it. I think negativity has eaten away at the fabric of our community, because we have a lot of talented people, but they're afraid because we criticize them. But every now and then, instead of criticizing somebody, tell them you love them. You might not agree with everything that your kids do. Tell them you love them. Tell them you believe in them. They need to hear that. They might not tell you that, but they need to hear that. Tell your spouses that sometime. Some of you still have yours. Mine is gone. But he left a lot with me. And I'm going to say this before I get off this morning. As my late husband would say, promise me. I'm asking y'all this morning to promise me, promise yourself that you will never let nobody define who you are. Don't let nobody do that. Don't let nobody do that. And my late husband said that with all the breath that was left in him. And I'm saying it to you this morning. It's something I'll never forget. And I believe that if he was here today, he would continue to pass that message on. And I am glad that you all are riding this journey with me. I thank you for that. I really do. I really do. So, now that I've opened up my heart on this morning, poured out my heart to you on this morning, I thank God for you this morning. I pray everyone have a wonderful day as you get ready to go out there in that cold world out there. I've got to go into the office on today. So this is going to be our last week opened College of the Mainland till we go out on our winter break. On our winter break. So we'll be there until the 11th, which is Friday, at the college to, render services. We still doing everything online, virtual. Classrooms are still virtual. But anyways, I'm going to get myself warmed up and get out there in this cold weather. Y'all know I don't like cold weather. Some of y'all do, but I don't. And I'm going to go get it done. And whatever you doing today, you go get it done. What I said earlier, it ain't none of your business how somebody else feel about you. All right? Love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.